Drew and Stew are on the air.
Ready? Right.
Whether you're fading with Drew or riding with Cam, this is the place to get your weekly NFL picks.
Everything you got, let's go.
Hello and welcome to Week 18 of the NFL season and the Drew and Stew podcast. Cam, this season has flown by. Fantasy seasons are done. I hope your finals went well. Mine did not.
Are you kidding me? No. I had DJ Moore, 1 catch, 6 yards. Next week, 2 touchdowns. I looked at my team. Dude, literally, Drew, isn't it the best? Happens every year. I check my team. My bench would have beat the guy who won the fantasy pool the week I needed everybody. 1 catch, 6 yards. Diggs, he's been a ghost for a while. Like, I'm just looking going, oh, God. Like, even with Diggs, I still would have murdered these guys. But anyway.
The worst feeling is playing in the third place game and absolutely annihilating everybody in the league.
Yep.
You're like, oh, well, this would have been nice to happen last week.
Yes.
But yeah. 2 finals appearances and both losses for me. But we both had amazing weeks on the spreads. Cam, I was 14-2. You were 13-3. Our combined record on our combined games was 12-1. The only combined pick we got wrong was the Buffalo Bills, who barely escaped with a win against New England. Josh got hurt. Josh Allen, that is. The Ravens lock up the 1 seed. It is now Bills Dolphins this week for the 2 seed, and maybe the Bills missing the playoffs, depending on how everything else shakes down. The Saints' big win, we called it. We said everyone's on the one side. This screams Tampa, or this screams New Orleans, and everyone was like, "No, Tampa can't lose. Tampa can't lose."
Yes,
and Cam, you were right about the Giants. I thought the Rams were going to smoke them. The Giants should have won that football game.
Well, Drew, I'm going to tell you something. The Rams should have won that. The Giants should have won that football game. We did amazing last week, but it's only week to week. Anything could change, but it's one of those things about the NFL. And I was wrong on one area and right on everything else. The Baltimore Ravens are a team that no systems, no letdowns, nothing applies to them. Like, nothing applies to this team. Like, I was thinking Miami, tight win against Dallas. You go in there and show them your boss. They absolutely murdered that team. Like, the Baltimore Ravens right now, the way they beat San Francisco and the way they handle their business, I don't know if they could be stopped, but we'll see. And we made some really good picks. We also said last week, watch out. I told people the Seahawks are they're a team that I love them, but I know they sound kind of like the Bills, but we bet with our heart, but I didn't bet with my heart. I said, this team is not capable of beating a team like the Steelers.
We said Mason Rudolph is their best quarterback. We said it.
We said
and
it
they benched
weeks.
Kenny Pickett for him. You see Kenny Pickett? He's like, he refused to back him up, so he sat in the press box. I was like, what a loser. Like, you're that upset that you lost your starting job that you refused to be the backup? Like,
honestly, why do you want a guy like that on your team? It's like, you're supposed to be a team together. If a guy succeeds, you know what? Sorry, Kenny. But Mason Rudolph did what nobody else could do with this team: generate points and wins. So what do you want from the guy? Maybe the Steelers should have been playing him earlier instead of holding him back, and they would have been fine.
Look how good George Pickens looks all of a sudden, Cam.
I know.
It's like, oh, wow, if you have a good receiver, you throw him the ball, he makes big plays.
Great call, Drew. We made some good picks. Like, what was the other one too? Or another trapdoor special. We had a couple last week.
What other ones were there? The Lions +6 we both had. San Fran. Cardinals. We were both on the Cardinal side, even though that. Yeah. Oh, Raiders we were on.
Oh, we just covered by the hook.
We got the hook on that one.
I know, I got a lot of angry. I guess I get Colts Nation that follows me now. They're like, nice pick, because I said the Raiders were like a better team. I text the guy back, Raiders cover by the hook. Like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, I'm not here to, I'm not doing your show or anything like that.
And
we're just
Cam, the Chiefs
picks.
covered the 7 with field goals from Buccaneers. It was just field goal. I was like, what is going on? They're pissing me off. I had a parlay going, and they were the last leg. Thank goodness I didn't cash out.
Drew, I ended up betting Jacksonville
parlay
with CJ Beathard. Good call. And that's the whole thing. Like, I took Carolina, but they couldn't even score. Honestly, and what have we talked about? And this is something that I want to get through. And even like Mayo and these guys, I do these other show with these guys. Like, they all joke at me and laugh at me and stuff. I'm like, okay, so what? The proof's in the pudding. Who's better? A hurt Lawrence or CJ Beathard? CJ Beathard. Who's better? Mason Rudolph or any other? It was
Carolina. I think they win regardless who's quarterback. I'll say.
But you know what I mean, though, Drew. Like,
no,
these
I agree
backups
with you.
are not like they're almost equivalent to the starters. The reason they're backups is sometimes they're like, I admit Lawrence in his prime is much better than Beathard, but you can't have an NFL season will take its toll on the best of athletes, and it's not worth screwing your season to putting in Steffi Graf, aka Trevor Lawrence, with a bummed up whole body to screw up everything. They should have started Beathard 2 weeks before, and they wouldn't even be in the season. They would have already had the division locked up. That's my opinion.
How about the ETN's over 60 yards rushing and touchdown parlay I gave on the Thursday show? Cam, one play he did it. One play, 62-yard touchdown. I was like,
our props were
cash that
like,
one.
I'll tell you too, the Fields touchdown prop, even though Allen stunk, he got in the end zone. Like,
I get to throw something at you this week, Cam, because you told me if Kelsey doesn't score, I get to throw something at you.
You did. I did say so.
Travis Kelsey, this guy sucks, Cam. Like, what happened to him?
What are we going to do? Go to the bar and you're going to throw like some chicken wing bones at me or a glass?
No, like you would enjoy that too much because I don't finish my wings the way you do. You'd be like, oh, look at all the extra.
Yeah,
meat.
no, yeah. Me, I'd be like, ooh, that's soft. With me, it's like with you, I'd be pelting you with cartilage in the face, right?
Exactly.
You're like, oh my god, it's just bones.
All right, let's get into this week, Cam.
Let's
the Pittsburgh Steelers going to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. The Ravens likely resting all of their starters. They have the first seed locked up, the bye week. How do you feel about resting starters? I'm fine with it when you play the next week. When you also have a bye week, Cam, I don't know because that's 2 weeks off.
Don't know. It's a joke. And I'll tell you, Lamar Jackson even talked about it. He goes, remember that time they were the 1 seed and they had all that time off and he looked like junk against the Titans? He goes, I've never, ever, ever forgot that I should have kept on playing. And these coaches can perceive you want to preserve them like they're a Fabergé egg. I'm going to tell you, you're going to be like a broken yolk when your season's done. I'm telling you, play. You're right, Drew. 1 week, you could take some time off, but guys are creatures of habit. It's almost like the holidays. I go, wow, I'm even more tired. I had like 1 day off. It's because you're used to going to work. And these guys are the same way. Too much rest is a bad thing. It's not a good thing. NFL players are creatures of habit. So I agree with you, one full fold. If you're going to play the next week, fine.
If
they
don't play at all, let's say it's all their backups in. That means Huntley's starting at quarterback, who isn't that bad, Cam. He should have won a playoff game last year against Cincinnati. It wasn't for that crazy fumble return touchdown. Pittsburgh looks like the real deal though the last 2 weeks with Mason Rudolph. But do they go in? This is giving me vibes of, I don't know if anyone remembers, but when the Bills needed to beat Tommy Maddox and the Steelers backups who had the 1 seed locked up, and then they went into Pittsburgh and they couldn't beat the backups and lost the playoff spot. I could see the Steelers losing to the Ravens backups, Cam. Is that crazy?
Crazy? No, Drew, because that's what I'm going to take. And I've learned, I could be wrong this week. The Steelers have actually been really good to me. I was against one of the only games wrong last week was the Dolphins. I learned my lesson. Here's the thing. Huntley's good. I worry about a lot of the guys sitting. I get it. But now these guys have to win by margin. The bet's been gone from -2.5 to -4. We're getting the Ravens as a 4-point home dog with a good backup quarterback. Let's just put it this way. I'm going to take Baltimore. Disclaimer, Drew, to everybody, catch the show later in the week.
Yes,
a lot of these are going to be changed. We don't know, some quarterbacks, injuries, whatever. This is the craziest week of football, guys. But I'll tell you one thing, Baltimore at +4 is in right now. We'll see what happens. But you know what? I think they can win this game outright. And another thing is, Baltimore hates Pittsburgh. They'd love to see them.
You don't want to see your division rival make the playoffs?
No, even though Pittsburgh needs help, I will take Baltimore +4.
I mean, they don't really need that much help, but I agree with you. I think the Ravens play their starters for a half because I think, like you said, Lamar knows what happened last time they did this and they rested. You don't rest guys with 2 full weeks.
That's different compared to the other guys, too. He might go up to Coach Harbaugh and say, listen, Coach, I know I got to stay healthy, and I know the Steelers' defense is good, but maybe give me a couple touchdowns in here just to,
I think he's got it locked up anyway.
I do. Cam. You know what I mean, though?
No, I agree. I think he plays the half, and I think if we get 13-3 for the Ravens at half, I think even if they do lose, they still cover the 4. So give me the Baltimore Ravens as well, Cam.
Okay.
We'll see on Thursday if we switch it. If it comes out that the starters are not playing at all, it also depends which starters they bench. You can't bench 22 guys, right? Mm-hmm. So certain starters will be playing. Moving on, the Houston Texans facing the Indianapolis Colts in Indianapolis. The winner makes the playoffs, Cam. If they tie, they both could miss. There hasn't been a tie this season, surprisingly, so maybe, you never know. And if the winner wins and Jacksonville loses, then the winner of this game wins the division. So a lot on the line in this game, Cam. It's Gardner Minshew against CJ Stroud. Houston looks good with Stroud back in the lineup last week. Do you believe in Indianapolis to win this game outright? I'm having a hard time believing in them, Cam.
Tough game. And you know what, Drew? And to Colts Nation, who's watched the podcast, that followed us and whatever, you know what? I'm proud of your coach. I think Shane Steichen, in my opinion, is one of the best coaches in the NFL. I think their Indianapolis coaching staff did marvels this year. This was a team that was projected to win very few games. And now,
if they had Anthony Richardson, Cam, do you agree they win this division?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah,
if Richardson stayed healthy and got better as the season progressed, there's a no-brainer. But I'm going to say this. Houston's defense, you see what kind of team they are with and without Stroud. We're getting 1.5 points. I think the defense shows up and does enough in this game. I like Houston to win this game by 3 outright. We're getting 1.5. Give me the Texans. This is a team that I'm going to bet on futures to win the division next year over Jacksonville when they get some help for CJ Stroud, build that offensive line, get a couple more defensive players. This team is a couple years away from being a very, very good team.
Yeah, my only thing is if the Colts get their running game going and Jonathan Taylor just runs all over Houston, which could happen. But I don't know. We'll see if I switch on Thursday. I'm going with Houston as well. I think Houston wins this game outright and makes the playoffs. And I think they're one and done in the playoffs. We'll see. Next week, fair warning for the viewers, our Tuesday show will be a bracket preview, and then our Thursday show will be the picks for the week. So we're gonna give our
good
full
to know,
playoff
Drew.
bracket.
Yeah, I didn't get the memo, but
Yeah, hey.
I love you, man. That's
Now
the
you
best.
know.
Hey, Cam, first we got to meet and have a couple wings and beers to talk about our Christmas benefits and debts and things like that. But we'll collect it in the new year. So far, good start to the year, Drew, for you with the winners.
Maybe Sunday Night Football this week. Bills Dolphins. We can meet up. We'll see.
I'm thinking about that actually. That'd be good as long as the Bills win and we have a party.
Well, right? I'll just leave the tab to you if the Bills lose. I'll be upset. I'll just walk out of the bar. Yep. Jacksonville Jaguars going to Tennessee to take on the Titans. The Titans are plus 5.5 at home. The total is 40. Cam, the Jags need this win to win the division. They win. They're in with the division. They're 4 seed, taking on the Cleveland Browns, probably losing round 1, let's be honest. We don't know if it's going to be Beathard or Trevor Lawrence. I'm assuming it's going to be Lawrence with the division on the line, Cam, despite no matter how healthy he is. Apparently, it's coming out of Tennessee now that Mike Vrabel's contract is expiring at the end of the season, which means he probably walks. Like, if you're Vrabel, do you re-sign with the Tennessee Titans? You probably have a job anywhere you really want because he's a very good head coach, Cam. Like, any of these openings probably go to him first.
He's done what he could do with this team. I blame the organization more than Vrabel. I think he's a great coach. He's a leader of men. He gets guys motivated. You know, you talk about the X's and O's, maybe not like the best in the league, but when it comes to motivation, players respect, and a guy that played in the league, he's been great with the Tennessee organization for years. I think
his rosters have always been trash, Cam, and they've always stayed in games.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with that. And I think that comes on a lot of the people in different positions as organization have struggled where Vrabel deserves a better chance. And I'm going to agree, Drew. I got his back. But this game, I don't know what to do. It's a lot of points. It's on the road, but I'll take Jacksonville here. I'm not really thrilled about this game. I'd like them more in money line parlays. 5.5 is kind of a limp number, but I'll take the Jags to win by 7. This game could be changed, but if Beathard plays, I actually feel better about it because I think he did fine.
Yeah, Cam, I'm going to go the other. Did I have a stroke there? I'm going to go the other way. Take the Tennessee Titans plus 5.5.
I'm the old guy supposed to have a stroke on the air, Drew. Not
that was a tongue twister.
Fresh. Yes.
Tongue twister there. Mike Vrabel, I'm trusting him to cover this number, Cam. I think the Titans are sneaky to win this game outright. All the pressure's on Jacksonville's side. Tennessee's playing loose. Vrabel's not the guy that's going to tank for a higher pick because I doubt he's even going to be there. Henry's playing for a new contract with a new team. All these guys are playing for something. And I feel like this is like the time where Jackson might lay an egg, Cam. Like that, I could see them just blowing this.
I don't want to sound like wait till Thursday. You're right. Like the more I think about this, I was going to take Jacksonville by a touchdown, but 5.5. Now you're asking them, they have to win by 6 or more points.
That's a lot on the road.
Really is. I think they win. I still like them in a money line parlay, but Tennessee on the spread, I will take Tennessee. Jacksonville, yeah, they win by like 3. You're right, though.
So you're switching?
Yeah, I am switching. Give me same as you, buddy. I'm riding your hot. We're both had a good week on fire, but I think you're right about this one. You got to take the points with the home dog.
All right, yeah. I don't like taking the favorites in must-win games. I feel like it's always like nail-biting. Like
no, I take the other teams. Stay tuned to the show, and I got a few for you that are going to blow your mind, so don't worry about it.
The Detroit Lions hosting the Minnesota Vikings, 3-point favorites at home. Detroit locked into the 3 seed. Let's talk about that Dallas nonsense at the end, Cam, where number 70 and 68, who reported? Did the ref hear it? Let me hear your thoughts on that play.
The Detroit Lions got, in my opinion, screwed in that game, but I don't really know what to say. The refereeing has been putrid all year. It was kind of shocking, Drew. I'm going to be honest with you, Drew, and disclaimer here. When I watched that game, it was on Christmas, right?
Can you believe Can you believe Mike McCarthy's decision to throw the ball?
Yeah, no, that guy's insane. But I remember because I remember I was really wasted. Like I was drunk, and I'm watching the game and with my girlfriend. I'm going, I think that Detroit won and Dallas won. Like I was like kind of like confused and stuff. And I'm like, she's like, I think this game's pissing me off. Who's winning and what do you need? I'm like, I think I need Detroit plus the points, and I got a money line with Dallas, so it ended up working out. But
so that's what was perfect for you.
Yeah, it was. I couldn't have had a better ending because we took Detroit with the points. But I will say this: I've said this for a long time. I think Mike McCarthy is a horrible head coach.
I understand. You just run the ball 3 times there, Cam. Detroit has 40 seconds to drive the field with no timeouts. Instead, you gave them 147, and I was like, and then they're playing prevent defense, just giving them 15 yards every play. I was like,
I'm watching the Washington game last night. It was different because the guy in Washington got hurt to stop the clock. They would have burned 30, 40 seconds off, and Texas wouldn't have had a chance, even though Washington barely held on, and I had them. But this was different. McCarthy, all the power was in his hands. None of his players were injured or anything.
I mean, I was happy because I had Detroit +6. So I was like,
I'm
this
happy
is great.
too. But
I was like, kick the field goal. Thank you.
What the problem is, Drew? Dallas, with all their potential, I even think they can like do some damage, but they're going to be in a game where they have a chance to win, and their coaching staff's going to screw it up. That's
I mean, I don't. Do you trust McCarthy to win a playoff game? No chance.
I don't either, but we'll see. This game.
I was wrong. I said Detroit had the 3 seed locked up. It's wrong because if Dallas loses this week, they could go to 2.
That's right. Yes.
I just don't think Dallas is going to lose this week. But
what about Minnesota +3? You tell me.
No,
Detroit's at home. Mullins?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Detroit's at home, which means and in a game where they can play for the 2 seed, and you got Dan Campbell angry. Like I haven't seen him like this. Is like biting off kneecaps. Cam trying to secure Coach of the Year.
Pulling the cannibal card, Drew? Like he really is getting angry,
I think Detroit absolutely like dog walks them by 30 points.
Question 2, Minnesota. I got issues with the way you handled your business. Nick Mullins is not great, but you're putting in a kid from BYU.
And then you bench him.
Like, what are you doing? Like, if you here's the deal: the guy's he was not ready to play.
No,
you put Nick Mullins.
But then even if you do put him in, Cam, let him learn. Let him go trial by fire. Like, see what you got. You don't take him out of the game once you already decide to put him in.
That kid's head hard. Right? Hall's going to be like, where am I right now? But you know what, Drew? I don't know I don't know what's going on in your marriage. Obviously, you've given your wife lots of love and great Christmas gifts because you're on a high. Even like can hear in your voice, like things are going well. Like you're winning money. That's good. Almost. And the crazy thing is we've almost hit like $1,000. We're just short on these friggin' money line parlays.
Alvin Kamara. He cost me that big anytime TD parlay.
I was so pissed with Kamara.
When he left with his injury, I was like, oh.
And McCaffrey left too. And you're like, watch McCaffrey at -300 to be the one in the parlay. Yeah, he was hurt. Like, I'm like, okay. You know what? You're right. Detroit's at home and it's a field goal now. Even though that line tells me trap, this could be changed.
The issue is the 80% on the Detroit side, Cam, which is we've said it all year. You go the other way when you see that 80%, and 80% of the public's on Detroit -3.
It's a scary move because the line opened 4.5, went to 3, and people are.
I know, and everyone's still betting Detroit. It's a huge trap. All season we've went the other way, but I just can't. I can't do it this time, Cam. It's the one time where I'll hit on a 16, just crazily. It's the one time I'll do it.
Okay, well, I'm on Detroit too because the only reason is if they would have beat Dallas, I would have been on Minnesota.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because then they'd be coming to this game on a high. They'd already have the 2 seed locked up, even if they lost. So they would.
Here's another one coming up. What do we do with this one here?
Cincinnati hosting the Cleveland Browns. The Browns locked into the 5 spot, Cam. So likely Flacco's not going to play.
So who is DTR?
Yeah, it's going to be DTR.
I'm on it. You know what? Give me Cleveland +6.
Oh,
you're asking the Bengals to win. Okay, you played great. You had your chance against the Chiefs. You screwed up that game. You're not making the playoffs. It's the Battle of Ohio. You know what? If Cincinnati wins by 7 or more, they do. Cleveland, they would. I got to take the 6 right now. This is. See, I told you this week's nuts. As I said, people, tune into the late week show because we have a lot of research. We're taping this on Tuesday. What the hell are we going to do? Like these games are going to be insane.
I'm going the other way, Cam. I'm going to take the Cincinnati Bengals. I think the Browns rest everybody that possible. I think Jake Browning can drive up and down the field against the Browns backups. Their defense isn't that great besides their D-line with all their starters in. They're going to be a scary team to face in the playoffs, Cam. And I think they're going to be getting ready for Jacksonville and not even care about this game. Like if the Browns lose this game by 30 points, they don't care. Like they're locked in the 5 seed. So I think this is all Cincinnati and Jake Browning putting on a tape for maybe someone to trade for him or something. We'll see. But yeah, give me the Cincinnati Bengals. Finally, mystery tiebreaker man makes an appearance. Where do you think he is on this one?
Oh, he's on the Bengals.
Incorrect. On the Browns with you, Cam.
It's a new year. Now I'm going to lose all the Bagman's picks. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. That's our first disagreement. We'll see if that continues. The Atlanta Falcons going to New Orleans to take on the Saints. The Saints' big win last week. The Falcons blew it like they usually do. Saints are 3-point home favorites. 74% of the public is on the Saints. Total is 42. They are 2-5 at home ATS. Do they move to 2-6, Cam, or can they cover this number?
The Saints were good to me last week. I just don't trust Frank Falcon in any situation. This game is tough again because the Saints will let you down. Once they help you, they'll let you down. They're a very unreliable friend. He says he's helping you move. You know, we're carrying the stuff, and then he's gone. Like, you know, he gets together with his ex. He's a ghost for a couple of weeks, and he goes, "Hey, man, my relationship sucks. You want to party again?" You're like, "Yeah, man, I love the Saints." You know, like he's your buddy, and then he's gone again. Drew, he's one of those guys you've had in your life. it's very true. But I'll take New Orleans -3. He shows up this week with a case of beer.
Okay, so you think they go to 3-5 then?
I just don't trust the Frank Falcon's even worse of a friend. He's not even like in town.
No, I
He's
agree
gone.
This could change.
Yeah, it could change
because again, it's reverse line movement and a lot of public on this side, Cam. But I'll be with you on the Saints this week. Derek Carr surprisingly good in close games, Cam. We saw it against the Chargers 2 years ago with the Vegas Raiders. Well, we saw it in the playoffs against Cincinnati where they should have won that football game with all those field goals. I actually trust Carr in these must-win games, weirdly enough. All right, moving on. The New England Patriots hosting the New York Jets. If the Patriots lose, they will lock up the 3rd overall pick. They could move to 2 if Washington wins, but that probably doesn't happen. The Patriots just trying to not pick in the top 5, weirdly. But they're 2.5-point favorites at home against the Jets. Do you trust Rob Saleh and the Jets to win this game on the road against Zappy and the Pats, or will the Pats cover like they've been covering?
I don't trust either team. So I'll take the team that has a plus beside it, being the Jets. Give me the Jets.
That's what I'm thinking here too, Cam.
Dude, Drew, honestly, this game, like, it's just so disgusting. It makes me sick. But
the total's 30.5, Cam. That's disgusting. You got to go over. How can you possibly bet the under here?
First of all, this line, guys, it opened up at 34, and it's going to be down probably 30.5 by game time. You have to take the over out of principle. If you lose, you lose. But I'm going to take the Jets plus 2.5.
I might have a very large Jets plus 9.5 over 23.5 teaser, Cam.
You know what? That sounds good to me, Drew. I still think it would probably middle and go under 41, but I'll take the 23.5 over.
Oh, yeah, over 23.5. Cam, the 23 points, you kidding me? Like, watch this game's going to be 13-10. Just screw everything up.
And you lose by the hook. As long as the Jets win 13-10, I don't care.
Yeah, give me the Jets plus 2.5. I think they win this game outright. I can't see this will be Bill Belichick's parting gift to the Patriots. Like, hey, here's 3rd overall pick. Do with it what you want. I'm out of here. I can't see Zappy moving the ball against this Jets defense. So we'll see. Moving on. Your Carolina Panthers, Cam, hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucks win. They win the division. Can they win this game by 5.5 points against the Panthers?
Take 5 yards and 5 swords. You know what, Carolina?
You're picking against Carolina?
Yeah, if you cover and win
Are you feeling okay?
No, I'm not. I feel very tired, ill, beat down, whatever. It's like
Cam's turning a new leaf. It's 2024.
Well, what has Carolina, what has this cat done for me other than cause me veterinarian bills, misery, bit my friend, I got rabies, like this.
Is your New Year's resolution to stop betting on 1-win football teams?
Yep, that might be it, Drew. But I did really well a couple weeks when they covered. Those cats were for a couple weeks. He was my friend, and
you switched off them last week smartly after the show aired. But yeah,
after the show aired, I didn't. So I could have gone 14-2 like you. I actually took Jacksonville because I like Beathard. But how do I bet this team? I can't. If they cover, okay. Tampa Bay, the fact they got beat down too, you go into Carolina and win by a touchdown. Also, Carolina covered against these guys the last time they played in Tampa Bay on a late backdoor. I don't think that exists this time. I'm going to take Tampa by a touchdown, Drew. I might regret this, but as I said, into part
Cam, there might be 16 fans in the building for this football game. Like, it's going to be the worst. Like, it's not even going to be. It's going to be like a 11-on-11 scrimmage for Baker Mayfield and Tampa coming into this building. They should be favored by 10.5, 11.5. I think this number is way too low. It might be my minerals. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Cam. I think they absolutely smoke Carolina. Division on the line. You can win your division title just by smoking Carolina in a building with 30 fans. Like, I think it happens. And speaking of Carolina, Cam, what do you think of their owner Tepper throwing drinks at Jacksonville Jaguars fans in Jacksonville? What is he doing?
Yeah, honest to God, this organization has hit rock bottom. You might as well hire me, Drew, drunk. We could do a better job. Not only do you move up to take the wrong player, you give DJ Moore in a package, and you have an owner.
You got to give Bryce Young a little credit, though. Like, he's in a bad spot. Everyone's shitting on the kid, but like, he has no receivers, no O-line, no coach.
No.
Like,
you're right, Drew. And know what the thing is? Next year, when everyone thinks Carolina is going to be this team, they're going to be better. They're actually going to help them out a little bit, and they're going to cover a few more games next year. I'm not going to say they're going to be good, but they're not going to be. This was epically bad, and I don't think that could happen again.
Like, when you trade that first pick to move up to number 1, and then that pick becomes the number 1 overall pick the following year, that's the worst case scenario.
I would love to be in the Bears organization right now. As I told you again, they don't care. The players
still
said
moving
it.
on from Fields, Cam.
They go,
They're still
screw
moving
it.
on from Fields.
You're not moving on from Fields. You're sticking.
Will.
You're. Let me tell you something one time, Drew. The players want Fields. They don't want Williams.
I don't care what the players want.
Well, you know what? Draft Williams. You'll see what happens to this team. Stick to the plan with Fields. You're going in the right direction. Anyway, who cares? It's about Carol. Oh yeah, Bears got the first overall pick from these turkeys.
Yeah, yeah. Would you? If you're Chicago, do you take Marv Jr. number 1?
Yes.
Get him a weapon?
Yes.
Or do you move back and get a ransom?
Oh, no. Actually, you know what you do? Me and you sit back, have a glass of scotch and a cigar, and we trade our picks down and get everybody we want. No, you do. You make sure somebody moves up who needs a quarterback to take your pick, and you have to play the game. Saying,
you can't move back too far, though. I think he moved back to like 5 or 6.
But Drew, you have to, and also you need the right people in the war room, not like to actually say, like, come out with false reports. Fields is done. The players, we just said that. Like, come up with all the negative stuff, but tell Fields in the we really like you. We just got to get you some weapons. That type of thing.
It's weird though. The way Justin Fields is speaking in press conferences, it's like he knows this is his last game in Chicago.
It's a trick.
Like he's like,
don't believe anything, Drew. Just like Ohtani was coming to the Blue Jays. I told people he wasn't. No, he's not going anywhere.
I think this is a bit different because of the contract reset, like I said in the previous show, but we'll see. Yeah.
I'm just trying.
One thing on Cam, on that Ohtani thing, I can't stand that he's like dropping pucks at hockey games and stuff. They're acting like he's never been to LA before. He just fucking played there for his entire career.
Yeah, hey,
you're like, oh, welcome to LA, Ohtani.
There's a team called the Angels. You might have heard of, even though they suck. But I'm going to say this though, Drew, with Fields, I would love Justin Fields to be Seattle's quarterback instead of Geno Smith. But it would never happen.
Would you trade your first round pick for him?
Yep, I would.
Really?
Yes, I would.
Well, you tell me.
Okay, you tell me. Who's better? Fields is a million times better than Geno Smith, bro. This guy has a diminishing skill set. Fields is a young player who can run.
Well, yeah.
And think about it with that. Think about with that offense.
Okay, fine. Would you rather? Okay, listen. Would you rather sign Kirk Cousins or trade for Fields?
Well, I don't know what's gonna. It's. I think there's two different scenarios there, Drew. I'd rather have Cousins or Fields. Like, no.
Okay, but I'm saying if it was one or the other, what would you rather? Sign Cousins for $40 million or trade for Fields' first round pick?
I think I want Fields more, as crazy as that sounds, because he's younger.
For the future, yeah, but to win now, I think you want Cousins.
Yes.
All right, let's get back to this week, Cam. The LA Rams going to San Fran to take on Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers. Shanahan has owned McVay in his career. Does that continue this week, Cam? The 49ers locked up the 1 seed, so they're probably resting starters just like everyone else.
You start.
The Rams have the 5 seed locked up. Or sorry, no, they don't, because that's now the Philadelphia Eagles. They have the 6 seed. They have the 6 seed locked up, sorry. So they're going to go to Detroit or Dallas, depending on this week. Cam,
no, you're right. Because they hold the tiebreaker. Even if Seattle would win, go 9, the Rams beat them twice. Yeah. Okay.
The Rams are locked into the 6 seed, Cam, and the 49ers are locked into the 1 seed. So we don't even know who the hell's playing in this football game. It could be like John Doe against John Doe too. Like,
shouldn't we just take San Francisco since it's -3 and maybe change it when we find
out just because he owns McVay so far? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
No, who's starting for San Francisco? It's who is it?
Darnold.
I think it might even be somebody else. I think they might even start the 3rd stringer. Anyway, yeah. You know what? I'll take San Francisco.
Who is their 3rd stringer? San Fran 49ers QB.
Oh, it's you know who it is.
I feel like I know.
Just give me a chance to see. This is bad. We should just
Brandon Allen.
You know what? I like Brandon Allen's a 3rd stringer. I'm fine with that. I'll take San Francisco, please.
Yeah, I think they'll start Darnold.
And who's starting for the Rams then? Numbnuts. They got rid of John Wolford, so their backup quarterback for the Rams is.
Why are we blanking?
Dude, you're struggling hard, right? You're like both of us.
You're struggling as well, Cam.
I am. Oh yeah, Carson Wentz, Prince Harry's.
Oh yeah, they just signed Wentz.
Oh geez, we might have to take the Rams. 49ers for now. We'll see if Prince Harry's lining up with Meghan Markle cheerleading.
If it's Wentz against Allen, I'm taking Wentz all day.
I'm taking women's department store Reitman's +3, please. 3 dresses.
So you're taking the Rams?
No, I'm taking the 49ers -3 dresses.
Okay, sure. I'll take the 49ers as well. But if it comes out that Wentz is playing, this pick will be switched on Thursday because he's playing for a contract next season with a new team. So he wants to put good tape out there, Cam. Give me Carson Wentz. If he's starting for the Rams right now, though, 49ers.
What a train wreck.
Shit show.
Rams was their backup. Oh, dude, I can't believe we're making picks this week. Don't hold it against us.
Oh, man. Some pick'em pools are like coming down to this week, too. And others, people are shitting their pants like, I don't know what to pick. The Packers hosting the Chicago Bears. Jordan Love against the Justin Fields. Isn't it funny, Cam, that the Bears have never had a 30-touchdown throwing quarterback in the history of their franchise? Jordan Love in his first season for the Packers does it. It just shows you how much better the Packers organization is as a franchise compared to Chicago. Chicago's turning around though now with the first overall pick and Fields and everything they're building there. But 3.5-point favorites in Lambeau Field. Totals 44. It's a lot of points, Cam. Do the Bears cover again? They've been covering a lot lately.
Favorite game of the week. Put the Bears in. This Bear is taking the Bears. It's personal. I want Chicago to win. I'm defending Justin Fields. Bears Nation, I got your back. I should be a Bears fan rather than a Seahawk fan for all the times I've stuck by you. And
they've had no success in their history, Cam. At least you have some Super Bowls.
Yeah, I'm kind of that. I like that, Drew. I like loser teams. You know that. I cheer for the Leafs, remember, and a lot of other loser organizations. So why don't we just add the Bears to it? The Bears, I got a soft spot in my heart for this team. Here's the deal. Just because Green Bay needs to win the game doesn't mean they're going to win the game. And I like your angle off the top. Teams, I think, have pressure on them when they're winning the game. Chicago is playing loose football, and all they're doing right now is playing great. You give me 3 in the hook, I think it's a huge hook. I'm taking Chicago.
Yeah. I want to take Green Bay so bad, Cam. I'm going to do it. Playoff lives on the line. They have an outside chance at getting that 7 seed. I think they beat Chicago. Justin Fields hasn't really played well when he's been in Lambeau Field in his career, and I think that trend continues. I think the Packers win this by 5 to 6 points, maybe more. We'll see, but Love is putting some good tape on Cam. I know early in the year people were like, is he going to be the starter next season? That's definitely he's definitely the starter next season, Cam. So give me Jordan Love and the Packers to win this by 3.5. Where do you think mystery tiebreaker man is on this one?
Packers.
Correct. Back on the winning train with the tiebreakers. I thought you were going to be maybe don't trust your gut and go Chicago, but you were right. The Chiefs now, plus 2.5, going to LA to take on Easton Stick. Again, Mahomes will not be playing. The Chiefs are resting their starters. They are locked into the 3 seed. The Chargers favored. Cam, give me the Chiefs all day, every day here, because the Chargers want to lose this game for draft selection. They don't care. Their head coach isn't playing for a coaching job. They're making the call down saying, you guys better lose this friggin' football game. If you win this game, we lose like 4 slots in the draft order. That's not worth it. So give me the Chiefs.
Backup is too? A competent backup, Blaine Gabbert, a guy that's actually played NFL football games before. No offense, I'll take Blaine Gabbert over Easton Stick any day of the week, even though Stick's a little more mobile. Gabbert has played in the league more. 2.5 is fine with me. I'm with you, dude. The Chiefs got it done for us last week, barely, but we'll take them. The Chargers, they're just a train wreck altogether. I will take the Chiefs. This game sucks as well.
Okay, it would be very LA Chargers of them to win this football game by like 20 points and ruin their draft selection. And just, I can see Jeff.
You know what? I could see that happening too, but I'm taking the Chiefs for now.
No, the Chiefs might be one of my favorite picks of the week. Stay tuned for our minerals, Cam. I think they win this game outright. The Raiders now blew it last week. They had the chance to be still alive in the AFC West race, but they blew the game against the Colts. Now they host the Denver Broncos, who also blew it, Cam.
Raiders.
Yeah, this game's a
mess. I want the Raiders. I know they screwed up. Denver, what's Denver really do? An 8-8 football team? What, they're playing for a winning season? The Raiders, you know what? They didn't play great against the Colts, but their defense has been really good. Stidham, I don't care. You played the Chargers last week. That game was a train wreck. You know, and all we got to do is win by 3 to cover. Everybody's on the Raiders, but I can't take Denver, so I'm going to take the silver and black attack this week.
I'm going to go the other way, Cam. I'm going to take the Broncos. I think the wind is out of the Raiders' sails. The pirate ship is down. I mean, no more rating. I just gave me the Broncos to win this game, and they're the underdogs. I think they're the better football team.
Drew, it's a bad week for pillagers, like Violet. Except no, you like the Bucks though. So bad week for the Vikings and Raiders, the other pillaging teams. Teams who steal your gold and
yes, exactly. I like a lot of horses this week. I think maybe that's my.
Oh yeah, you're on the horse theme this week. I like that. Yeah, and the country western theme looks strong.
Yes, there you go. Where do you think mystery tiebreaker man is on this one?
Raiders.
Ooh, incorrect. 1 and 2, Cam.
You know what? I've never had a bagman losing week. This could be it. 2024's here.
That could be a bad sign. But it's week 18 though, so it's all out the window. All right, the Seattle Seahawks going to Arizona, take on the Cardinals.
Arizona.
The Seahawks outside chance of the playoffs still, Cam. They need some stuff to happen for them. But can they win this football game?
I'm not. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. For all the times Pete Carroll, rah, I've never seen a more conservative, out-to-date offense. Drew, I watched them play on 4th and 1 punting. It's like, dude, you got to wake up in the real world now. Like, enough. It's
a must-win game.
Do you watch these guys play? Like, oh, okay, yeah, we're at the 50, 4th and 1 punt. It's like, no, Pete, you got to this is not the way things work anymore. And I'm down with punting when you have a defense that can stop people. You don't. So you need to go for it more because that's all you have is guys that can. God, this team, man, I'll tell you, Drew, they drive me nuts. Like being a Bills fan is very similar, even though the Bills have way more talent. Like you're like, can't you just do something right for a change? I told people about Pittsburgh last week. They said I was crazy. And you know what? I'm not crazy. I know this team. Arizona, it's their last game at home getting 3. They'll win this game outright. Give me Arizona. And also, I have to take Arizona for many reasons. I have Seattle 8.5 over wins at the start of the season. It's a hedge on my part because they have smart. 8 wins. So Seattle wins. I get my money, no either or, and it's a big bet. So I have to take Arizona.
If I'm a Cardinals fan, Cam, I'm absolutely pissed at that win last week. They had the second overall pick locked up. And they go and win that game late against Philly. You saw their GM on the sideline. He was just like he didn't even want to celebrate because he was like, "This is ruining everything."
You can't tell the coach not to win. That's the whole.
No,
thing.
I agree with you. But as a GM and a fan of that team, you're just like, no, like you can't cheer for that. Like you're not happy after that win.
Think about want to know why? Another thing, Drew. I was thinking about that game, and you agree with me. Think about how many money line parlays had Buffalo, San Francisco. Trust me, I did one. And I added Philly in it just for shits and giggles to get a little more money. That was the last game. I'm like, Philadelphia's not playing well, but they should win. They lose. That game blew up so many parlays last week.
It blew up my pools ticket, Cam. I had the OG pools perfect till the Philly game, and I was like, oh my God.
There you go, buddy. I think it would have paid too much because a lot of favorites came in.
Yeah, it probably would have been like $600 win this week or something like that. But yeah, what a disaster that was for both franchises, the Eagles and the Cardinals. But this week, Cam, I'm going with your Seahawks. Must-win game. I trust Pete Carroll in must-win games, and I think the Cardinals defense isn't good enough to slow down the Seahawks offense. I think they smartly switched to Drew Lock. I know it's not confirmed yet. It's probably going to be Geno starting, but they should switch to Drew Lock. Pete Carroll, I'm talking to you. Put Drew Lock at quarterback.
If they switch, I might switch because one thing is Geno Smith hanging down with the ball, the fumble, doesn't take care of the ball. I'm really disappointed because you know what? Geno Smith played well, but then you got to remember one thing.
And he's missing a lot of throws, Cam. Like he's not Geno from last season.
And you talk about it, though. We've talked about this, and I talk about with Gabe all the shows. The minute guys play their asses off to get the bag, once you get the bag, you're not the same guy. Geno was playing for a contract. He got his contract. His incentive is not the same as it used to be. He's one of those guys. Why do you think people at work keep me down? You don't want to pay me money. You want to keep you hungry and showing up for work every day and doing things that you do. And I'll do that and I'll do that. Right, Drew? No, it's true. The minute you pay somebody, it's like, oh, okay, I'm just going to sit on my ass and do nothing for whatever. And that's the way it works. Geno Smith doesn't have the desire and the hunger. When he played that season for Seattle, it was awesome. He got paid. They needed it. And you know what? Good on him. They got rid of Russell Wilson. They needed to do it. He's a smart guy, man. Don't let Geno fool you. He knows what's going on. I don't think he's not trying. I'm just saying he doesn't have the hunger.
No, but he's like the hunger. He's missing throws. Like he had Lockett wide open at the end on touchdown.
Oh, I know.
He misses it by like 10 yards, and I was like, what is going on with this guy?
I want to cheer for. Like I love Geno. I love his story. He works hard. He was always a backup, but it's just not the same.
Is it weird that I think like if Seattle sneaks into the 7th seed? Like I think they could like maybe win a playoff game. I don't know. It's just like
it depends who they play.
It depends. They just need to. Well, it'd probably be Dallas, and I think they could beat Dallas.
Well, they almost beat them in Dallas on the road last time. Dallas is flaky. Yep.
So I think they could do that, but Cam, they need to win this football game, and I think must-win spot. The Cardinals can't win again. They can't go from the 2nd overall pick to like 8. That'd be just disaster.
They're at home, Drew. They're at home.
I don't care.
The fans, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
You think Cardinals fans are cheering? Cardinals fans will be actively cheering for the Seahawks. They might be cheering when the Cardinals defense is on the when the Seattle defense is on the field to help Seattle out.
I don't know what to do with this game. I think I have Arizona wins under 4.5 too. I lose either way in this game.
You win either way or you lose either way. So you already hedged.
Oh yeah, that win against Philly. Actually, you know what? At the time, I'm like, killed a couple parlays. Now I'm really thinking that really fucked me up pretty good. Anyway, I'm taking the Cardinals +3.
All right, where do you think Mystery Tiebreaker Man is on this one?
Seattle.
Correct. I thought you were going to trust go the other way. 2-2.
We're 2-2. Got a few games left.
I'm down to the wire.
Yep.
All right, Philadelphia going into New York, take on the Giants. The Eagles blowing it. 1-4 in their last 5 games came after starting 10-1. And they shouldn't have even won that one game against Buffalo, so they should be 0-5. They're going to New York, take on the Giants. Giants +5.5 at home. Tyrod Taylor starting again. The Giants should have won last week. You're just taking the Giants, simple as that.
Blindly. I don't know. And Philadelphia might beat them by 30 this week, get it right before the playoffs. But as of now, the Giants should have beat the Rams if they had a kicker or knew what the hell they were doing. Actually, the Rams guys screwed it up too. They horrible kicking in that game on both sides, but missing extra points, that's not cool. I will take the Giants plus 5.5. This is a team that, despite draft picks or whatever, has not quit. They almost beat the Rams. Philadelphia is in a free fall. I'll take the 5.5.
The Giants almost beat them in Philly last week, Cam.
I know.
Like, it's just...
So what do you think?
I'm going Philly. I know everyone's on the Giants, Cam. Public's on the Giants. Everyone's saying, like, look, Philly barely beat them last time. But I think all the talk is shitting on the Philadelphia offense and, like, how bad they are. I think this is when the Eagles go like, hey, don't forget, we're pretty good. And they stomp the Giants. So I think if they won last week, maybe, but because they lost in an embarrassing fashion to the Cardinals with those QB draws, everyone's trash talking them, Cam. This is the week they wake up and remind the world who they are.
I think Drew. You sound like it's almost like role reversal. I'm you and you're me this week with the bounce backs and the comebacks. I kind of like what's going on.
Yeah, I'm shocked. Cam, the Giants won you a bet last week. Usually you get off, but you're still riding the Giants train.
I don't know. It's probably personal with Philadelphia now that I realize that Arizona bet is 4.
It's fair. Idiot. Subconsciously, you're like, I hate these guys now.
Yeah, I did pretty good with my season win totals too with Detroit and a lot of other teams, but that one's not going to work out. But give me the Giants for now, Drew. But I could easily be. I got to be honest with you. Come Friday, I might have like 9 switches. We could have a record. Like I have no idea what I'm going to do. None.
All right,
so
stay tuned for Thursday then. Where do you think Mystery Tiebreaker Man is on this one?
I think he's going to go with the Eagles.
Correct. 3-2, Cam.
I'm saving my season. I could have 1 week where I've won every week with Bagman being over 500.
We'll see. It could come down to these last two. There is a surprise in here. I'll tell you that. That's a little hint that maybe I cheated. The Cowboys going to Washington, take on the Commanders. 13.5-point favorites, trying to lock up the 2 seed and the NFC East with a win. Sam Howell and the Commanders, Cam, didn't look good last week. Will they continue their bad play? Is this Ron Rivera's last game as a head coach in the NFL? What do you think?
How about you start? I've started all the time.
I think this is Riverboat Ron's last game, Cam. I think Washington tries to go out for him, but I don't think they care for him. I think they trust Bieniemy more. I don't think they even care for this head coach to play for him. I think Dallas walks in there, beats them by 30, easy paycheck. Let me get out of here. I think Dallas smokes them.
I disagree. I think it doesn't matter what happens in this game. If Washington wins outright, they're still Ron's done. It's Bieniemy's team moving forward. They'll give Ron a farewell with respect instead of hanging him out to dry. I think Dallas wins this game by 10 points. The back door is open at 17. I think Dallas wins this game by 10. 13.5 is too many points in my opinion.
It is a lot of points, but they're locking up Drake May with a loss here, Cam. Washington is. So I think they don't even try. I know throwing in football, people don't throw games.
They're at home,
players want to win. I don't care.
They'll cover and lose.
This is like the Arizona game, Cam. I don't like picking these teams that have these high picks locked up. Though a lot of teams they blow it. Like the Jets we saw 2 years ago, they blew it with the.
Trust me, all these things happen all the time. So you like Dallas, do you? Okay.
I'm taking Dallas. Where do you think Mr. Tiebreaker Man is on this one?
Dallas.
Correct. I wanted to see.
Yes, lock up a win.
Locked up the win. 4-2, or 3-2, right? 3-2.
3-2. Yep.
3-2. Yeah.
No, 4-2. That made it 4-2. Now it's even if
we
disagree on this game, 4-3 at worst.
Yeah, exactly. All right, last game of the week. AFC East on the line. Number 2 seed in the AFC on the line. The Bills could possibly win, get the 2 seed, lose 8 seed out of the playoffs. I don't think I've ever seen a game where it's that big a discrepancy in the standings, Cam. Have you? Like 2 seed or out of the playoffs? Like that's crazy.
Not in my recollection. It's probably happened over the last 5 to 10, but asking me to remember something like that is pretty loose, Drew, with the way I like to have fun. So no, I'm just going to say I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember that either, Cam. The Dolphins are 3-point underdogs at home. Josh Allen's career in Miami has been very good. He's only lost 1 football game, and that was that crazy 400-degree where everyone was passing out because of heat stroke last season. Do the Bills... They've had must-win games the last 4 straight weeks. Do they continue the trend of winning these must-win games? They haven't looked great the last 2 weeks, Cam. Dolphins looked like trash last week. Part of me wishes the Dolphins won, but they beat the Dallas Cowboys week before, so they couldn't have won for this to matter. I don't know, Cam. You got to start this one. Yeah, you can start.
Bills Mafia will be just as busy down there. This is a season-ending trip from Buffalo, from the cold confines of Orchard Park to Miami. There will be Bills fans at the game. Has Allen been brutal? Yes, but it's been against the Patriots and other teams. Historically, very good against Miami. The Bills always have a lot of fans in this type of game. For people who don't know, it's going to be crazy.
It's a retirement spot for people from New York.
It's Snowbird City. Give me the Buffalo Bills, who had played poorly all season against New England. I will take them to win this game by 10 points over Miami. I'm not getting off this train now, Drew. They screwed us with the point spread, but we had them in moneyline parlays against New England. Whatever. They got the job done. Bills by 10. They get it done. Squish the fish.
I'm going to go with you, Cam, on the Bills side. If I'd like it better if it was 2.5, because I think this could be closer than people think.
We'll take it at 3.
But yeah, I got to take it as 3. One team's playing for their lives. The other team is not, because they're in the playoffs no matter what. If they lose, that's Miami Dolphins. And I think when your back's against the wall, I trust the team with their back against the wall more than I do the team that's in no matter what, especially with all the Dolphins injuries. I could see them even like resting some guys. Is that crazy? I know you have to go on the road to KC if you lose this football game, but you're still in the playoffs.
Yep.
And I think you'd rather be healthy going on the road than risk more injuries.
Agreed.
It's crazy, but that's where we're going. We're both on the Buffalo Bills. So Cam finishes with the winning week on Mystery Tiebreaker Man's picks. We are moving to our best bets of the week, our gold, silver, and bronze selections. Would you like to start, Cam, or shall I?
I'll start, Drew, because I'm probably going to switch it. But anyway, so I might as well just give you what I got. I'm going to start with Houston plus 1.5 as my bronze selection. Great game in Indianapolis. Colt fan, I think you guys did a great job this year. Lots to be happy for with Richardson coming back to you. You have a quality backup in Minshew. Lock him up so if anything happens to Richardson again, you could be fine. But I think Houston's defense and C.J. Stroud will do enough in this game to win by 4. They're getting 1.5. We're getting the dog here. Give me Houston as my bronze selection.
My bronze selection, Cam, is the Philadelphia Eagles going to New York to take on the Giants. I think they absolutely smoke the Giants. Everyone's going to be on the Giants in this game, and I think Philly wakes up and goes, surprise, we can still score 47 points on a team on the road. So give me Philadelphia when everyone's doubting them, minus 5.5. What is your silver selection?
My silver selection will be the Chicago Bears plus 3 against Green Bay. I probably shouldn't be in the minerals, but I just love what Chicago is doing right now. Green Bay, I know they always beat Chicago. They have to win the game, but sometimes that's pressure, especially on a young team and a young quarterback. I'll take the Bears plus 3. Playing with house money, they've been a whole different team in the second half of the season. If they win, they actually have 8 wins this year. That would be a nice little way to finish the season off. Give me Chicago plus 3.
Cam, I don't like the pick, but I agree with your theories there. That's why you might win these. You win a lot of these games when you pick against the grain. My silver is crazy. I'm going with Blaine Gabbert and the Kansas City Chiefs going to LA to take on the Chargers.
Like it.
I think they win this game outright. So give me plus 2.5 Chiefs. I don't like picking like backup quarterbacks to win stuff. This is a page out of your book, but I did it with the Eagles, page out of your book. I'm doing another page out of your book, picking the good backup quarterbacks. Cam, give me the Chiefs as my silver.
I'm actually going to put the Buffalo Bills as my gold pick, minus 3 against Miami.
Woo.
I know it's probably insane to do. It was that or Arizona, and I'm kind of thinking you got me thinking the Seahawks actually might show up, and I'd like them for that wins over bet, but I'm very upset. Even though I knew Pittsburgh would show up, I'm still rattled with this team. I will take Buffalo. They didn't get the job done for us last week with the spread, but I'm going to tell you, Drew, when push comes to shove, I think the Bills play a very solid game, and I actually think they can win this game by 10 or 11 points. 3, it looks like a lot, people, but Miami's beat up. Chubb's done for the season. Tua
They beat the Dolphins by 20 plus earlier in the season too.
I'm telling you, the Bills this is a team that could match up against Miami and beat them down. I'm taking Buffalo as my gold pick.
My gold, Cam, weirdly enough, is your Seattle Seahawks. I think they go into Arizona and absolutely smoke Arizona.
You're insane.
You like my Bills. I like your Seahawks. Last week of the season, our gold picks are with each other. We're both cheering for each other's teams to do well. I think Seattle shows up, beats the Cardinals, maybe gets in the playoffs. We'll see how other results happen. If I had to pick a fourth mineral, Cam, it would be the Baltimore Ravens. As crazy as that sounds, I love Huntley. Too. I love betting on the Ravens in the preseason, and to me, this is the preseason Ravens who always cover numbers, and you give me a plus 4, not even the hook, or more than the hook. So give me the Ravens as my titanium or fourth pick. If you had to pick a fourth one, what would it be?
Ravens would be there, or the other one I would look at is, what were we looking at?
DTR against the Bengals you liked earlier.
Maybe the Chiefs, or I would say Jets.
I like it. Cam. Actually, my
what about Tampa Bay? Are we sleeping on Tampa Bay? I see.
That's true. You're right. Tampa Bay. I love that pick too. I'll have a lot of.
So basically, we have 7 picks instead of 3.
Yeah. Hey, if we go 14-2 again, I'll be happy. And my accounts will be nice.
Drew, I'll be happy if we get anything over 10. This is
a tough week.
If you get 9 or 10 right this week, you've done yourself very.
If you're above 500 this week, you're a very good
handicapper.
That's for sure. Anyways, Cam, that does it for week 18, episode 1. We will be back on Thursday to see your 11 changes to your gold picks, your silver picks, whatever you want. Thank you so much for joining us. Please click like. Please click subscribe. And if you appreciated us going 14-2 this week or last week, hit that sub button, hit that bell, hit the notifications, comment how much you love us, because it helps us out. And we'll continue this with our wildcard preview next week. Anyways, we will see you on Thursday. Thank you for joining us, everybody.
This has been Drew and Stew,
powered by Sports Interaction, your homegrown sportsbook. Always remember to bet local.
Follow Drew at Producer Drew and Cam at Cam Stewart Live. May the winners be yours and all of the best bets hit.